For over 20 years, Hugh Jackman has been a rare constant in Hollywood, a heartthrob who never faded, a star who feels both larger than life and totally down to earth. But why does everyone, your grandma, your mom, and you, still love this guy? It's not just the claws, the charm, or the looks. It's a near impossible mix of rugged masculinity and genuine humility that Hollywood keeps trying and failing to replicate. Today, we're digging into the real reason Hugh Jackman has us all hooked, and why, even now, we still can't look away. 1. The archetype of masculinity, the Wolverine effect. To understand the Hugh Jackman phenomenon, you have to start with the steel. You have to start with the rage, the pain, and the adamantium claws. You have to start with Wolverine. When Jackman was first cast as the iconic X-Men character back in 1999, it was a lucky break. He was a last-minute replacement. Comic book fans were skeptical. At over 6 feet tall, Jackman towered over the character's scrappy 5'3" frame from the comics. But the moment he appeared on screen, any complaints about his height just vanished, replaced by an awe-inspiring presence. For 17 years and 9 films, Jackman didn't just play Wolverine, he became him. He embodied a very specific and potent kind of masculinity. This wasn't some polished, clean-cut hero. This was someone more feral, more elemental. Wolverine is a character defined by his trauma, his immortality, and his barely contained rage. He's a lone wolf, a reluctant hero, a warrior with a wounded heart. And Jackman brought it all to life with a visceral intensity that basically redefined the modern superhero. The physicality of the role alone was staggering. Jackman put himself through brutal training regimens, sculpting his body into a vessel of pure, functional strength. He made a superhero's physique look not just impressive, but real. But the appeal of his Wolverine was always more than just muscle. It was in the performance. Jackman gave Logan a soul. Underneath all that rage, he layered a profound weariness, a deep-seated loneliness, and just a flicker of guarded tenderness. He was dangerous, yes, but he was also protective. He was the ultimate protector, the man who would walk through fire and endure any amount of pain for the people he cared about. That's a powerful fantasy. It taps into a primal desire for a partner who is both a shield and a sanctuary, someone strong enough to fight the world, but with a heart capable of deep, unwavering loyalty. The peak of this journey, the 2017 film Logan, was a masterclass. It stripped away the spandex and spectacle, leaving a raw, poignant story of a man facing his own end. It was a gritty, thoughtful, and deeply emotional film that went far beyond its genre. Jackman's performance was praised for its incredible nuance and depth. The film cemented Wolverine not just as a comic book character, but as a true cinematic icon, and that was all because of Jackman's commitment. He made Wolverine real, and in doing so, he established his own brand of masculinity. Strong, capable, a little broken, but fiercely protective. This became the foundation of his public image. He was, first and foremost, the man who could keep you safe. 2. The surprising Subversion, the song and dance man. Just when the world had him neatly filed away as the gruff, monosyllabic action hero, Hugh Jackman did something completely unexpected. He started to sing and dance. And not in a casual actor who can carry a tune kind of way. He revealed himself to be a full-blown, high-wattage, unapologetic musical theater star. This is the great plot twist in the Hugh Jackman story. And it's the key to understanding his full appeal. If Wolverine represents untamed physical power, then his stage career represents creative, expressive joy. While he was becoming a global superstar for playing a mutant, he was also winning a Tony Award in 2004 for his explosive performance as Peter Allen in The Boy from Oz on Broadway. Think about that for a second. The man synonymous with adamantium claws was, at the same time, captivating New York's toughest critics with his singing, dancing, and unstoppable stage presence. This wasn't a crossover. It was a dual identity. Hollywood loves to put actors in boxes. You're the action hero, or the romantic lead, or the song and dance man. You're almost never all three at once, but Jackman refused to be categorized. He effortlessly bridged the worlds of blockbuster action and Broadway musicals, two genres that are often seen as polar opposites. For many people who only knew him from X-Men, seeing him in a musical was a shock. The 2012 film adaptation of Les Miserables was a major turning point for that wider audience. His raw, emotionally shattering portrayal of Jean Valjean earned him an Academy Award nomination and showcased his powerful voice to the entire world.
Why should I say these hide? Why should I right this wrong?
Suddenly, Wolverine can sing became a common phrase, a mark of genuine surprise and admiration. Then came The Greatest Showman. Released in 2017, the film was a passion project for Jackman, one he fought for years to get made. The movie became a global phenomenon, with its soundtrack topping charts worldwide. Jackman's performance as P.T. Barnum was pure charisma, a whirlwind of energy and infectious showmanship. He wasn't just starring in a musical, he was using his star power to champion the entire genre. This is where the obsession deepens. The contrast between the savage physicality of Wolverine and the joyful grace of a Broadway performer is intoxicating. It shatters the narrow definition of masculinity that Hollywood often pushes. It says a man can be strong and rugged, but also artistic and emotionally expressive. He can be both the protector and the performer. This versatility makes him seem more whole, more human. It suggests a man who is comfortable in his own skin, unafraid to embrace every part of himself. This isn't just impressive, it's incredibly attractive. It makes Hugh Jackman not just a heartthrob, but a genuinely fascinating person. It's this incredible range that makes him so compelling. He's the action hero who can also belt out a show tune, and that's a combination you just don't see every day. But before we dive into the next part of Celeb is where the truth gets untangled. From red carpets to courtroom whispers, we break down the drama behind the headlines and spotlight the real stories shaping celebrity culture. But here's the thing, over 56% of viewers who watch this channel aren't subscribed. If you want smart, sharp, and always up-to-date coverage of Hollywood's biggest twists, the kind of stories the tabloids can't quite get right, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. It's free. It helps us keep doing what we do, and it ensures you won't miss a moment of the action. Thanks for being here. Now, let's dive into the next part, Hollywood's nicest guy. The authenticity factor. Hollywood's nicest guy. In an industry famous for scandals and fake personas, maybe the most radical thing a celebrity can be is genuinely decent. For decades, this has been the core of Hugh Jackman's public image. He is, by all accounts, one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. This isn't some carefully crafted PR narrative. It's a reputation built on years of consistent behavior. It's the authenticity factor, and it may be the most powerful part of his appeal. Stories are everywhere from cast and crew about his kindness. There's a famous one from the set of X-Men Origins Wolverine where co-star Ryan Reynolds was frustrated with a scene. As the crew was packing up, Jackman saw it, walked back onto the set, and insisted they do another take for him. That final take is the one in the movie. He's known for learning the names of every single person on the crew, from the stars to the caterers, making everyone feel valued. This warmth extends to his public life and his charity work. In 2011, after a trip to Ethiopia where he met a coffee farmer named Dukale, Jackman launched Laughing Man Coffee. It's a brand and cafe in New York where 100% of his personal profits are donated to the Laughing Man Foundation, which he co-founded to support farming communities and educational programs around the world. This isn't just a celebrity endorsement, it's a hands-on initiative to make a real difference. For 27 years, a central part of this authentic image was his marriage to Deborah Lee Furness. In Hollywood, where relationships can be so fleeting, their partnership was seen as a rock. He always spoke of her glowingly in interviews. When they announced their separation in 2023, their joint statement was handled with the same grace and kindness that defined their public life, emphasizing their family and individual growth. Even in its ending, the relationship reinforced the image of a man who handles his life with respect and dignity. This combination of professional respect, genuine kindness, and personal loyalty creates an image of unimpeachable character. It builds a deep well of public trust. It makes people see him not just as a fantasy figure on screen, but as the kind of person you'd want in your life. Reliable, respectful, and fundamentally good. In a world of constant controversy, Hugh Jackman's reputation for decency makes him feel stable and aspirational. You get the rare feeling that the man on screen is the same man off-screen, and that kind of authenticity is priceless. 4. The emotional core. Vulnerability as a superpower. If Wolverine provides the strength, and the showman provides the joy, it's Hugh Jackman's vulnerability that provides the soul. In recent years, he has opened up about his personal struggles, adding a profound layer of relatability to his public persona. This willingness to share his imperfections has become his quiet superpower, turning him from a larger-than-life movie star into someone who feels deeply human. The heart of this vulnerability comes from his childhood. Jackman has spoken openly about the trauma of his mother leaving the family in Australia and returning to England when he was just 8 years old. For years, this was a source of deep pain. But what makes his story so compelling isn't just the trauma, but his journey toward forgiveness. He has since come to understand that his mother was suffering from undiagnosed postpartum depression and has rebuilt their relationship. This journey eventually led him to seek therapy, a topic he has discussed with remarkable honesty, especially for a male action star. He's been candid about how talking to a professional has helped him process unresolved trauma and become more open with the people he loves. He shared how playing a father to a son with depression in the film The Son made him reevaluate his own parenting. He now makes a point to tell his own kids if he's feeling anxious, so they can understand it's okay not to be strong all the time. This act of sharing his own struggles is profoundly powerful. It challenges the traditional masculine ideal of the unshakable hero. By admitting I'm nervous or I need help, he gives other men permission to feel the same. This emotional intelligence signals a partner who isn't afraid of introspection, who is committed to personal growth, and who has the capacity for deep empathy. His openness about his own insecurities reveals a man who has done the hard work of self-reflection. In a culture saturated with curated perfection, Jackman's willingness to admit he's flawed, that he's still learning, and that he needs help is perhaps the most compelling part of his appeal. It's the final piece of the puzzle. He has the strength of a superhero, the joy of a performer, the integrity of a true gentleman, and the emotional core of a man who isn't afraid to be vulnerable. It's this complete package that solidifies the obsession. He doesn't just feel like a fantasy, he feels like a complete and authentic human being. So, what's the real truth behind our decades-long obsession with Hugh Jackman? It's not one single thing. It's a rare and powerful combination of qualities that you just don't find in the same person. He is the embodiment of primal, protective masculinity as Wolverine, and at the same time, the joyful, expressive artist of the Broadway stage. He's a global A-list superstar who is also known as the kindest man on set. He's a picture of physical perfection who is also brave enough to publicly explore his own trauma and vulnerability. Any one of these facets would be appealing, but together, they create someone who defies easy labels. He is the strong man who is also gentle, the famous man who is also humble, the hero who is also human. Hugh Jackman represents a complete ideal of manhood that feels both aspirational and, thanks to his honesty, surprisingly real. That is his unique magic. And that is the truth behind why, after all this time, we are all still so obsessed.